Okay.
Call the meeting to order at 7:40 p.m. Please stand for the pledge of allegiance to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We have a continuation for Bank Properties LLC property.
Call the roll first.
Oh, yeah, I could do a roll call. I'm sorry, I'm way ahead of myself tonight. You want to do a roll call? While it's-
Sure.
Yeah,
No, I got it.
okay,
We're gonna do a roll call vote.
sorry.
Everything's set up here. Technology is great when it works.
When it works, yes.
When it works. Okay. So roll call vote.
Mr. Kozec,
Here,
Mr. Gibbs,
Yeah.
Mr. Hamel,
Here.
Ms. Reardon,
Here.
and ready?
Here.
and Mrs. White will not be here. Ms. Reardon, you'll be a voting member this evening. I'm a little perplexed about looking at this new set of plans, because this is the first time I've seen them. And the numbers are different from what we had, especially in that area where it was 97.7 feet on the width, and now it's at 77.7. That changes the whole plan, because the variance we would be working on, and what we submitted is for 79.7 feet, where it's 125 feet required. I just had a chance to look at it in the last 10 minutes. I don't know if there's any other changes. I'm hoping the members can look at it, and we'll make a decision whether we'll have the public meeting or continue it.
Well, I think it might be more appropriate to allow the applicant to make any additional presentation he wants, and then we can go over if we need more time, seeing that I agree. I mean, I just looked at it now.
I agree. Would you like to take the mic, please? Thank you.
Good evening, Chair, members of the board. Brett Allard with Shaughnessy Allard. I'm the attorney for the applicant, the owner on this project, Bank Properties LLC. This is, I think, our third time here. We did go over a number of things at the preliminary meeting, and then at the second meeting was really where we dove into the merits of the application. At that time, there were a number of concerns of the board, and if we just, let me rewind for 1 second. I think everyone's familiar. Should I do a general overview of what we're here for and what we're asking for? Does everyone sort of remember, the general?
Fine.
Okay. So it's a two-lot subdivision. It's two variances. One is the frontage. We're only about 9 feet short. And the other one is the lot width. You have to hold 125 feet to the first 100 feet of depth. So those are the two variances that would allow this subdivision to move forward to the planning board
That
if
first
granted.
variance, instead of being 79.7, is 77.7.
Correct. So as a result of the first meeting, there was a number of concerns that the board had with regard to how certain lines were drawn on the plan. And there was some issues with the side setbacks and how those were shown on Lot 8. That now runs parallel with the Lot 9 9-1 boundary. There was similar issues with the side setback on proposed lot 9-1 near the mouth of that lot, near the road. Those setbacks have been corrected, so you'll see everything's now the same size, everything's cohesive, everything's sort of, it matches, you know, how it was supposed to be. And there was some reasons for those prior plan discrepancies, and mostly what it was, that when we circled back with the surveyor after the last meeting, is that the proposed lot line with respect to the land swap with the abutting lot changed. And when the surveyor changed the lot line to what came before you the first time, he didn't change the setback, so they weren't jiving with the lot line anymore. That was the reason for that. And we had him fix that, so that all works now. Another thing that we did for the first and second meeting was to show that lot width measurement, but as one of the board members properly and accurately noted, the way the surveyor had drawn the lot width measurement wasn't necessarily parallel with the front lot line. So there was a question about whether that was the accurate measurement. Now, we had the surveyor tweak it, and when he tweaked it to fix it, to make it the way it should have been the first time, it dropped that measurement from 79.7 to 77.7. Now, that's unfortunate, although I think, you know, it's probably somewhat negligible. It's not a material change of the application. It doesn't rise to the level of having to, you know, renotice abutters because there's someone who would have came if it was 77 but didn't come because they thought it was 79. You know, this is the third iteration of this meeting. I think everyone who's an interested party is here. And you know, that slight change, you know, we don't think materially impacts the application. And so we would be prepared to move forward tonight if the board is so inclined. And if the board is so inclined, I'd be happy to highlight some additional changes we've made since the application.
What I'm looking here is you are looking for a variance for 79.9 feet, which is like 45 feet. So that had to come from the building inspector, correct?
Had to come from the building inspector?
When you went in for a variance, that's where the 79.7 feet came in, correct? That was what the denial was based on. Because if Sam got this today, he'd be looking at it and saying, hey, what's going on here? Yeah.
Right, well, you know, the original denial was based on the plans at that time. The variance was called out at 79.7 because that's what the plan showed. Had we brought this plan, he would have called out 77.7. We'd still be in the same place asking for the same variance. It's just a minor tweak of a line on a survey.
The plan has been changed. Are there any other changes on here that we should know about? We just got this a few minutes ago, and I think the rest of the board members did also.
Well, I think there's two questions. One is, and I think we need to sort of decide before we go forward. One is this plan substantially different from the prior plan? If it's substantially different, then it would have to go before the building department again. If it's not substantially different, then we could proceed. I think, just from my opinion, like, forget your name,
Brett.
said, all of the interested parties have been noticed previously. So even, I don't think there's any need to renotice for the new plan. But whether or not he should go to Sam's, my other issue is that our rules say that you have to get the things in so that we have a chance to review them before the meeting. And that didn't happen. And I usually spend the weekend before the meetings reviewing the materials that have been submitted. And I did not have an opportunity to do that.
This plan was made November 14th, 2025.
Well, that was another issue. The new plan that we got tonight.
We can't reference the new plan,
I see two technical deficiencies. One, the revision isn't dated, so we can't, in terms of reference, this plan and the older plan have the same reference. So we need a revision date on here. The other one, again, which is not a really big deal, is the wetland certification never was dated. He signed it, but he didn't date it. That's a really small technical issue, but.
Yeah, and I don't know exactly when those wetland, there's the wetland certificate, yes, that's not dated. As part of what the board should have in their packet tonight is a wetland delineation report from the wetland scientist, which I think is actually dated back in October. And he is certifying that and explains his process for delineating the wetlands and certifies its accuracy. And that's from back in October, so I assume the wetlands were delineated around that time. In terms of, the plan changes, we haven't really changed a whole lot except for adding additional detail that the board requested that we look into at the last meeting. So we're not coming back here with a completely different application. We're not asking for different relief than we were asking for before, subject to the 2-foot change in the measurement on the lot width, which we ran to the ground with the surveyor. I'd be happy to walk through exactly what the differences are on this plan versus the one that was here a few months ago. And I think the board will find that they're fairly easy to follow. There's significant improvements in terms of just the way the plan reads. And I think everyone will be, hopefully by the time I'm done, which should be fairly brief, comfortable moving forward to make a decision tonight.
Be my guest.
Okay. So again, 2-lot subdivision, don't need to go back. Everyone's familiar with the land swap. The reason we're doing that with the neighbor is to give ourselves more frontage out front to get as close to that 150 as possible. The neighbor gets that triangle in the back, the bigger triangle. We get the little my client gets the little triangle in the front. We're 9 feet short of frontage where we need 150, so as close as we can be with that lot line adjustment. And we're 77.5 feet on the lot width at the 100 feet of depth. So since at the last meeting, again, there were several deficiencies that the board highlighted. I've already gone over the side setback on Lot 8 and how that now runs parallel with the Lot 9-1 boundary. I've gone over how the side setbacks near the mouth of Lot 9-1 are now the same size on each side. What we also did, the board wanted us to look into the wetland setbacks. So Newton has 2 wetland setbacks, one for buildings, one for septics. And what we did was we made sure both of those were called out on the plan. So you can see the 50-foot building setback is shown as the dashed with the 2 dots line, which creates sort of a building envelope on Lot 9.
What page are you on?
I'm looking at sheet 1, but it's this. But those lines are the same on every page.
But on sheet 1 doesn't have the setbacks. Yeah.
So this.
We can put the setback over here.
No,
Yeah.
and, well, you can see that setback over here, but it's this.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay.
So this is the building setback, it's dashed with the 2 dots. You can see how it's 50 feet off the wetland here, 50 feet off the wetland here, and then that same, only 50 feet off, there's no wetlands back here, so it just looks like you're normal setbacks in the back.
So the setback, yeah, so where's the setback for this wetland?
There's 2 setbacks for the wetland. The
This part.
building setback, which is, here and here. And then there's the septic setback, which is the gray line, which is a little harder to see.
I thought we were talking about this lot. This is the new lot. That's the existing lot.
Well, no, it's all,
It's all
right
one.
now, it's all one lot.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah, and if you look at the building, these are the building setbacks, the line with the two
Right.
dashes. So you can see that in here, the garage is within the setback, right? And you can see, you know, back here, this proposed dwelling is well within the setback. There's no wetlands back there, so you have to hold up. The gray line, the sort of lighter gray line, which again, like I said, is harder to see, but you can see it bubbles out over here. It bubbles out over here. That's the 75-foot septic setback. Again, the existing septic, then leach field's way outside of that. This is the 4K area. It's way out away from the wetland. It's out, actually, here's the gray line for the setback from this wetland. So you can see it's outside of that. So we added those setback lines. It's a little hard in Newton than other places. Other places have, 75% no, 75-foot no disturbance, 100-foot no disturbance around the whole wetland. Newton doesn't have that. Newton has a wetland buffer for buildings, a separate wetland buffer for setbacks, and then no just general 75-foot, 100-foot non-disturbance. So that's why, in order to call out the setbacks from the wetland, you have to look at sort of two different things. What you don't have to look at is driveways, because driveways are not restricted. There is no setback for driveways from wetlands under the Newton zoning ordinance. So that driveway we've now shown there is permitted by right. We don't need relief for it. And that was part of what was discussed that I'm going to get to with the Conservation Commission as well as the fire chief. Another thing we did, as I just mentioned when we were just at the table, we added a distance from that existing garage to the proposed new lot line. It's 26.9 feet, so we're outside that 25-foot side setback for structures on Lot 9, so that's within the building envelope. That's fully conforming. Another thing we did on the rear, Lot 9-1, is we flipped the proposed well and the proposed septic locations. That they used to be reversed from where they are now if you compare with the first plan. That works with the grade insofar as it needs to be sort of a gravity-fed system, and it keeps the septic as far away from the abutter to the east as possible, which hopefully the abutter appreciates, and I know the Conservation Commission appreciated during their review of this. We've also revised the dwelling location on Lot 9-1. We've moved it further up towards the middle of the lot. It used to be tucked back, so we were able to shorten the length of the driveway by doing that. It's obviously entirely within the building envelope, so there's plenty of space there, and no additional relief is required. We did add the proposed driveway on Lot 9-1. Again, the zoning ordinance doesn't establish a wetland setback for driveways. If you look at the ordinance, you do need a conditional use permit from the planning board for direct wetland impacts. We don't have any direct wetland impacts. The driveway is completely within the upland, so we're good there. There was 2 Conservation Commission meetings and a Conservation Commission site walk since we were here last. The first meeting was on April 8th. My client attended. He presented the plan, discussed the project generally, and then the Conservation Commission scheduled a site walk. That was held on April 22nd. I wasn't there, but I'm told things were generally positive, and that it helped form sort of a complete picture of the situation. There were no concerns with the lot width. I think there was actually some positive feedback in terms of this house being sort of out and back, so houses aren't stacked next to each other by the road, and insofar as they are not stacked by the road, they're not creating density issues, and they're preserving the rural character of the area. They were glad that we were working with the neighbor to relocate the septic as far away from them as possible by flipping the location with the well. And the Conservation Commission also requested a culvert, which if you look at sheet 4 of the plan set that was given to you tonight, this is the last change we made to the plan from what you saw last time.
You got 2 sheet 1s and no sheet 4.
No sheet 4.
The last page.
Okay.
There's a proposed culvert shown at the corner of the driveway where it bends into the interior of the lot. It's called out as PRO.culvert. If everyone can see that there. If you have trouble finding it, let me know.
103.
So I think by and large, the Conservation Commission proceedings, which I know at least one, perhaps more board members recommended that we do at the last meeting, I'm told they were generally positive. We got a lot of positive feedback, and I'm certainly not going to put words in anyone's mouth, but I think everyone found it a generally positive experience. We did ask for a letter of recommendation from them just to summarize their thoughts and findings. That's something conservation commissions routinely do. We didn't receive one. So what I'm giving you tonight is just the best recount of what happened as was articulated to me. We also spoke with the fire chief. My client coordinated with him mostly on the driveway because it is a longer driveway to get out to that proposed lot 9-1. And the letter that's in your packet tonight that we submitted this morning, or the email correspondence from the fire chief, you'll see that he took a look at this. Doesn't have necessarily any objections or any issues to it. Just said that the driveway needs to comply with NFPA regulations, which are more or less recited in the town's driveway regulations. And in terms of that, we've taken a close look. We've designed the driveway in a way that it will comply with those regulations.
Second. We don't have that letter.
Oh, well, I was,
Yeah, you sent 2 page ones in the package that you sent me this morning.
And we don't have an email. Right?
here's another plan, and the email's in here as well.
Thank you.
Another plan with the wrong date. Jeez.
Oh, okay.
So what are we looking at?
So if you look at the last page of the packet that I sent, that I just handed out, that's the email from the fire chief. And he just says that as per our telephone conversation, your driveway must meet the current NFPA requirements for fire apparatus access. Please ensure that any improvements or modifications comply with these standards to provide adequate emergency vehicle access to the property. If you have any questions or need additional information regarding these requirements, feel free to contact me. So, didn't express any objection when he looked at the plan, when he spoke with my client. Just wants to make sure that the proposed driveway will ultimately comply with the NFPA regulations, which are recited in the town's driveway regulations. And to that end, we've designed it so that it will. We've proposed a 12-foot wide driveway with 4-foot gravel shoulders. That's a requirement. We're going to maintain a minimum curve radius of 55 feet at the corner. That's a requirement. You can see the turnaround area at the corner. That's for emergency turnaround when the fire trucks get in there. That's a requirement. And the proposed driveway will be designed, the proposed culvert will be designed to carry an H-20 load so that it doesn't fail if emergency vehicles have to traverse above it. So that was all done to comply with the town's driveway regs, which are based on NFPA. That's what the fire chief's talking about in his email. And again, we're going to need a driveway permit. This is all going to get vetted by staff if this project moves forward. Staff will confirm that the driveway regulations are satisfied. And also, I believe the fire chief said that he's going to require the installer of the driveway to sign an affidavit at the end confirming that the as-built driveway complies with the driveway regs and the NFPA guidelines or requirements. So that's a summary of all the plans, all the changes we've made to the plan since we were first here. The whole driveway, wetlands, and culverts thing, frankly, it's more in the purview of the planning board than the zoning board, but we did think it was important to show the amount of work that's gone into this. Obviously, if this moves forward, the planning board's going to take a very close look at everything from the, driveway design to the wetlands, to the culverts, and that sort of thing. And, you know, really, I know it's been 2 months, 2.5 months since we were here last, but I just wanted to sort of commend my client for putting in probably more effort than most maybe would have under the circumstances in terms of, you know, working with the Conservation Commission over 2 meetings and a site walk, having a lot of back and forth with various town departments, including the fire chief, for what we perceive at the end of the day as, you know, a pretty straightforward 2-lot subdivision. So I think that effort has sort of demonstrated that the subdivision's viable and practical, notwithstanding the 2 variances that are required. Again, one just because we're 9 feet short on frontage, and the other because we're a little short on lot width up by the road. But at this point, granting those variances doesn't approve this project. All it does is allow us to move forward to the planning board on a subdivision application, which my client, you know, hopes to have the opportunity to do. This is a great opportunity, we think, to add another unit to the town's housing stock. Obviously, it's a critical time all over the state for that sort of thing, and hopefully, you know, he's hoping that he can be a part of that here in Newton. And you know, I went over the variance criteria, I think, in a fairly good amount of depth at the last meeting, so I probably don't need to go line by line again, unless anyone has any particular questions about any of the criteria. But other than that, you know, we thank the board for their time and consideration, and I'd be happy to answer any questions at this point.
Board members, do we have any questions?
Well, I think well, 2 things. One, yes, your client, you know, was followed up very much. Unfortunately, he didn't get the stuff in time, and I haven't had a chance to review it, and therefore, I don't feel comfortable rendering a decision tonight. And for that reason, rather than closing the public hearing tonight and then doing our deliberations a month from now, I would, or if you don't agree to that, because we're probably well beyond the 90 days, we would have to deny for lack of ability to review the information. So you know, and I would think it's in your best interest to continue the public hearing until we're ready to deliberate, just in case we come up with questions at least as I review this material. The other question for the board is, you know, do we think this is substantial enough to require the building inspector to look at it, or as he said, it's the things that the building inspector denied the project for are basically the same issues that the new plan has. So
Yeah, I think that's the route we should take it.
what? Which one? You think it should go? You think it's the changes are big enough that it should go back?
I think so, yes, because he's there. I'm not sure how Sam would work it, but when it goes to him, let's say we approve it, and he's looking at it, he said, these numbers are not what I gave the denial on. That's what I'm concerned about. Whether that would happen or not, I'm not sure how Sam would work it.
Well, the denial is just, you know, to get us off to the zoning board. It's not uncommon for there to be plan changes and revisions throughout the process. And certainly if the plan changes and revisions were so substantial that it required additional relief or different relief, I could see, okay, go back to the building inspector, get an administrative decision. You now need this other variance for something else based on your changes. You need to get an administrative decision and come back. But, you know, here we have the administrative decision based on the frontage and the lot width. The only thing that's changed is our surveyor double-checked his work and tweaked a line, you know, a centimeter on the plan, which resulted in a 2-foot measurement change. But at the end of the day, it's the same variance for the same thing. It was just a sort of technical correction.
The numbers have changed.
But I tend to agree with the applicant in this case. That the numbers of the change is small.
They are.
And it really, between 77 feet and 79 feet, that's not where
Again, I'm not sure how Sam would look at that if he signed it.
well, besides that, things may be a lot different after they go to the planning board. So this isn't the final swing at it anyway.
Right. And certainly if the board was inclined to grant the variance, what I've often seen before when there's plan revisions is the condition of approval is, variances are granted subject to the conditions shown on the revised plan. And in that way, it's incorporated into the board's decision for the record, which really, again, just allows us to go to the planning board on a subdivision application.
Yeah, I agree with you on that, except we have one problem. And that there is no revision date on the plan.
All the plans are the same. They all the same.
Well, the drawings are different, but the how one would reference a plan, you can't, I've got, different sets of plans, but no way to tell you which set am I talking about, unless I said the one you gave me today as opposed to the one you gave me 2 days ago.
Again, I'm not the surveyor, so I'm kind of put in a box here on some of this stuff.
If you look at where
And the first thing you looked at was the date of the plan.
Right above that, there's a little table, and that's where you put in revision dates.
No, I understand that.
And there needs to be one so that we can distinguish between the different revisions.
Because there's also similar,
Right.
each one of us could be looking at
All
it
the
differently.
dates are the same. There's no revisions. It's the first thing you look at.
Understood.
We can't reference a set of plans.
Right. I think I would like to hear from the two of you about how you feel about whether we have to go to the building department again or not.
I don't think so.
I think that, no, the 2 feet is,
Okay.
because we've had other ones where we, after our deliberations, we realized that we needed to give them a few feet in a variance, so I don't see that that's required.
I don't think we need a motion on that, but the consensus is that he doesn't have to go back to Sam.
Okay, all right.
But we need a good set of plans that we can reference to give you.
That goes to
I
why,
can certainly have the surveyor fix the plan sheet numbers and add a revision date.
yeah, and add a date so that we know it, and also
numbers.
to make sure that we get a copy of it a week before the meeting so that we have an opportunity to look at them.
As far as I know, nothing's going to change. Nothing further is going to change at this
Right.
point. So we apologize for the timing of the submission.
And definitely want a set of plans that are 1 to 20.
What?
A set of plans is 1 to 20, not this.
Oh,
Yeah, the set of plans, like,
That's what they usually are.
pardon me, right?
we got one of the big ones, but
Yeah. Yeah, I've got so many sets of plans here, I'm not sure what I'm looking at anymore. Yeah.
does anybody else have questions for him?
I don't. Miss Reardon?
No, I just, not having time to look
Yeah.
at this is an issue.
Everybody
with me.
agrees that it was, given to us at the last minute. That's why everybody gets these packages several days before our meeting. That way they have a few days to review them. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, and I understand that. Every board is different. I appear in front of a lot of boards. Some of them don't even look at plans outside of the public hearing, so you have to go through it with them at the meeting, and that's the first time they've seen it. Other boards operate in different ways, so duly noted moving forward.
Yeah.
Does any other people in the public have anything to say?
I'm going to, we all done asking,
What?
all done asking questions or concerns?
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody,
Is there anybody in the audience that would like to speak? Yes, I would. Thank you. State your name and address, please.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman, and to the board as well. Good evening. My name is Kristen DeBarro. I am the trustee for 13 Merrimac Road, so I'm actually next door. My main concern is exactly right now the same concern that you're voicing. I have not had a chance to review these plans. I did look to see if they were posted publicly before this meeting, and they were not. So I would also like time to review them. and to see the changes and to be able to see side by side as well. Because I want to, first of all, there's three things that I'm looking at. One is to make sure that it is going to maintain the rural feel for the town as we're looking at, but also that it's going to do substantial justice and that it is going to prevent undue hardship. So I would like more time to review and to see the plans properly dated and side by side for the changes. And I think that's it. Thank you very much.
Thank you. You all set? Okay. Well, board,
What?
I'm sorry.
I don't have anything further, so thank you.
Okay. Didn't see you out back there.
Are we ready for a motion?
Are we ready for a motion?
But I will ask the applicant, do you agree to suspend the 90-day thing so that and we will continue the public hearing with the expectation that there will be very little done in the public hearing and we will go to deliberation as long as we get the materials we need?
Yes.
Okay. So with the applicant agreeing to suspend the 90-day time limit, I make a motion that we continue the public hearing to July something.
July 1st.
Sounds good, July 1st.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Do a roll call vote, please.
Ms. Reardon?
Aye.
Mr. Gibbs?
Me, aye.
Mr. Hamel?
Aye.
Mr. Kozec?
Aye. The motion carries. We will see you in July. Thank you.
Any concern with that being by week? I was curious. All the board available.
We wish, but no, we'll be here. No, because what we
Boy, that is a bad week.
we were happy, but we didn't want to make any comments until we saw the final plans. So just make sure you get a copy to conservation.
They have the final plans.
All we had when we did the site walk was not what we're looking at now. So if you get it to me, we meet next week, I can give it to the conservation next week.
This is the same exact plan that was presented at the last one.
The 77 versus
Same
79.
exact plan. I
Okay.
have these in my truck
Okay.
from the last meeting.
Okay.
To continue our meeting, acceptance for board review of minutes. Acceptance of the minutes of 3/18 meeting. Does anybody have any changes or modifications?
Yes, I reviewed the minutes, and though I found that many of the changes that I had recommended
Yeah.
last month were made, there were several that have not been made yet. I have given the administrative assistant a copy of those changes.
Okay, so you provided him with a copy tonight?
Yeah,
Okay.
I scribbled on my piece of paper, and he made copies. And I invite you to, if you can't read my writing, or if my pencil is too light, give me a call or email me.
I have awful handwriting myself, so I'll let you know.
Are there any other changes or mods? Miss Reardon,
I also,
our English teacher, here we are.
I also had some things that weren't
For the 18th?
on March. Are we on March?
March 18th.
March
yeah.
18th, yes. And I gave Bill a copy he took a copy of my notes to, and some of them were the same things that Mr. Hamel had noted.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you. What?
Some of them were the same things that Mr. Hamel had noted, and I gave him a copy of my,
Okay,
So-
all right.
Yeah, because I think before the meeting, we had talked about that it's more advantageous for us to give him a written piece rather than me sitting here and saying, on this line.
I think that's, because if I type it out, my wife can't even read some of the stuff that I put down, so I think that's a good idea, Roger. Yeah. Can we move on, not that we want to talk about it a lot, but does everybody agree that'd be a good idea if we find changes to submit the modification to the, beautiful.
I mean, the other option, which could be done to streamline it a bit, is if you could get the minutes done early, like real early, like within like the 5 days that the minutes are supposed to get done, to send them to the members of the board, and then they could send any proposed changes only to the AA, not to the other members of the board, but only to the AA.
Yes.
So that by the time the actual meeting
Final
comes,
copy comes out, yeah.
all of the potential revisions would be made.
Okay, sounds good. Yeah.
yes, and by doing it that way, we would remember what we just did.
I mean, really.
As opposed to having to go back and watch the video saying, gee, did I say that? You know.
Okay. Are we all set with 318?
So actually, all of those comments, at least from my point of view, are the same for 318, 41, and 56. They all have some minor changes that need to be made.
So you've already submitted those to him, okay.
And he has all
Ms.
that.
Reardon, are you caught up on all those minutes?
Yes, I believe he took copies of my notes
So
too.
you're all
also.
set for the 3 months also?
So for all of those minutes, for 318, 41, and 56, I would suggest that we take no action tonight, and we'll, by the next meeting, they'll be perfect.
Review them next month, okay. Yeah.
And I do have another comment about the minutes. The minutes of January 7th and February 4th, though they have already both been approved, and in our packages, you gave us the February minutes, which you've made all of the changes that were approved. So the ones that we approved are fine. The ones on the website are the original ones. They need to be taken off the website, and the approved corrected minutes need to be put on.
We've been going through, if I can jump in, so we have a new website company, and we have all been ready to slit our throat because we have not been able to make changes. We couldn't even get in to do anything for 2 weeks. They seized our ability to make changes on May 8th.
Wow.
It was terrible. And so all this time until last week, we weren't allowed to do anything.
When did they
So-
install a new system? Just recently then?
Yeah, last
Wow.
week
We've
or
been in
something.
training, it's been terrible. Well, you've been there.
Yeah, well, Michelle has.
So, Michelle, so I today was just doing some stuff that I wasn't able to do because of
Wow.
this. So Bill was in the same boat with me.
And the interface is really, really quirky.
It is work.
Really?
So it's not the easiest thing to pick up, but I think,
Right.
I mean, you've worked with it enough now. It's
Yeah.
not
It's
as
getting
difficult as it had been.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kept trying to add agendas and I'd go back and look and the old one is there. How can the old one be there? I already deleted it. I'm like, really? It's a good thing I'm not an alcoholic. I really drink.
So are we all set with the minutes?
Well, did you make a, Did you make a motion?
No, basically, seeing that
just
we're
gonna-
not doing anything, we're just
we're
gonna
just
move
gonna-
on and
okay.
not do anything.
All right, we just, consensus is we'll wait to,
Right.
okay.
We are set with the minutes, we're down to other business?
I'm all set.
Okay. I hope the board members don't have a problem with this. Everybody realizes that Mrs. White's husband passed away.
Oh, no, I wasn't aware of that.
Passed away the 28th.
Sorry.
Oh, gosh.
That's horrible.
And I just have a few words I'd like to make on behalf of the board. Okay? On behalf of the board members, I would like to reach out to board member Mrs. White on the recent loss of her husband, who also was a board member and also planning board. Our thoughts and prayers go out to you. Thank you. And the meeting ends at 7:25. Nothing else on the, right?